Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to do a review on New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Osaka from February or March last year. I can't remember exactly when it was. Not important, not relevant. It's a good show overall. I'm hoping I get more than 7 views for this video. I think I got 7 views for my comeback video, which is a bit depressing. Fingers crossed I get a few more. If I don't, I cry about it, but I will probably, hopefully, pick myself off the floor and have a go at doing another review when time permits. So, if I spam your YouTube channel, yeah, don't really care. Have a look at my channel anyway, and watch this video. It'll be really good. Right? And yes, if you do it, it'll be good. So do it, and everything will be good. Because I like it when things are good. So, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Osaka, good show. Undercover's pretty miserable. Yeah, the sub main event and main event were impeccable. They were amazing. So let's get through this pretty quick, even though I don't think it will be quick because I have a few things to say. But before I move on, hopefully my next review will be on Wrestle Kingdom 9. I know Wrestle Kingdom 9 is pretty popular, and from some of the reviews that I've seen on here, some of the bloggers, I think my opinion would be a little bit different. Marufuji's not a legend. Alright, let's go. First up with the IWGP Junior Tag Champs. So we have Time Splitters against Bullet Club. Young Bucks, yep, those dudes from Indie America. So, the Time Splitters have been feuding with members of Bullet Club for a while. The 4-way match at Wrestle Kingdom 8, it was pretty good. I mean, I didn't mind it. I was expecting this to be pretty good, and I wouldn't have been surprised if it's actually upstaged the matches preceding it due to the lack of title matches on the card. So, I don't mind the Young Bucks. You know, they bring the kayfabe heat. They get a mixed reaction on the general wrestling Pure boards. As I said, you know, they bring the heat, they do a good job of it, and that's all that really matters here. The guys on the boards don't really matter. So these guys put on a really good match later on in the year of the season at Dominion. So this is a nice little build-up. Ironically, the best IWGP tag match before this one, in my opinion, was actually at last year's Dominion as well. That's good. On to the match. Some nice back and forth action to begin with. Everything was executed pretty nicely. The Young Bucks were annoying with little screams, but that's what they do, so that's fine. The match began with a fairly fast pace, but not frenetic, which is good for an opening match, I think. So nothing seemed forced in a way, but you could tell these guys enjoy working together, so that was good. The Bucks executed a few implicit heel tactics, which actually fit nicely into the match. There was a little narrative beginning where Shelley was getting a kind of neo old school beatdown, and he would either kick out from a pin attempt or he'd dodge a significant move. So the crowd actually popped for this part. The match was back and forth, and eventually the Young Bucks retained their belts with the more bang for your buck move. So some of the near falls were pretty cool. There were quite a few spots. 3 stars for that one. Good match. So next up was Murderer, Katsuyori Shibata and Yoshihashi in singles. I vaguely remember Yoshi from years ago. He's in Chaos now. That's that. So he was fighting Shibata, and it mentioned that he murders people. So there we go. This was essentially a squash match. Yoshi showed a little heart, but Shibata got the win, and he jogged from the floor. So Yoshi was not put over at all. He looked terrible. That was 1 star. So Shibata just did a squash match. Just a bit of a push for whatever it's in later on that season. I can't remember. So the third match, we had Suzuki Gun, comprising of Smith, Lance Archer, and Minoru. They were taking on the Bullet Gun Trio, Tamatonga, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallo. So Suzuki Gun had a little feud with these guys, and then went back to fighting Chaos. So these days, Suzuki Gun are going at it against the Noah guys. Alright, I think they've got Suzuki's got a title match with Marufuji, and I'd love it if Suzuki won because it would make Noah a little bit exciting. I love Minoru. He is a Murderer, also the same caliber. Probably not quite the same echelon as Shibata, but he's pretty damn hot as well. So, this particular match, there was nothing really special here. Suzuki got a kick with no kick pad. That would always be painful. He got it on Anderson. I liked the little segment later with Archer and Anderson, which got them both over. This is really good, actually. Anderson was attempting backhand chops and the European uppercuts, which I hate, on Archer, and Archer wasn't selling them. Archer delivered a move, I don't know what you call it, and immediately tagged out and went to the floor, then selling Anderson's strikes. Something a bit different and well done on both guys' behalves, particularly Archer's. Yeah, you know, he didn't sell at the start, he sold after, and he put them both over, so it was good. Gallows did something quite stupid. I don't think he's incredibly intelligent, dude. He was just pounded by Smith's extended vertical suplex, and then given what looked like the brain buster, which was really good, very impressive because Gallows is massive. And then Gallows reversed the next move, was totally undersold the previous move, and there was like this little build-up. It was, you know, well, what was the point of doing it in the first place, Gallows? Well done. So Suzuki, as usual, was was awesome. Smith got the pinfall in the end, and Tonga took it, which isn't a surprise. With Gallows and Anderson's tag champs run, they wouldn't risk bogging them down. So, number 4, we had a tag match prolonging the feud between Devitt and Taguchi, bringing in Makabe as a nice touch, but he's just there. He wasn't doing much. I haven't seen Makabe and Fale from Wrestle Kingdom 8, but apparently it's pretty bad. And the match went about 15 minutes, so if it's a bad match that goes 15 minutes, then it's really bad. Dev did his normal scaredy cat thing. Taguchi got nailed by Fale, blah blah blah. It was pretty cool. Good, you know, the typical face versus heel type match. Not much else. I gave that 3 stars. I actually gave the Suzuki match. I didn't give the Suzuki match any stars. And I don't think it's because it was really shit. I just forgot to do it. So I'll leave that to you if you like. Bit of a Brechtian postmodern theatre. You do it. Or Robert Bresson. He was a director in the 60s, French director who, in the actors that he did, there was no facial expression. It was left up to the audience to interpret. So you can interpret maybe my review on the Suzuki Gun match and maybe send me maybe what stars I would have given it if I didn't forget to do it. It'd be cool. Maybe not, because no one could watch this review, but anyway. So next up was the NWA Tag Team Title Contender match. This is the match where Big Daddy Yum Yum sold Satoshi Kojima's reverse backhands really strangely. This was that match. But apart from that match was terrible, 1 star. Not even that, half a star. Alright. The next match, I'm not going to say much about this one either. It was the next installment of the Strong Style Theory gone completely wrong. New Japan should just get IGF in and get a feud going. But that's not going to happen. Or Kadana should just start a new UWF. Kadana, just do it. So Sakuraba recently had a match with Nora at the current Wrestle Kingdom 9 using UWF rules, and I thought that was really good. Even though it wasn't pure shoot style wrestling, it was more pro. They did the UWF shoot style rules. It was really good. This was terrible. The Gracie brothers are really bad. They got no idea what they're doing. Man, probably terrific mixed martial arts dudes. Terrible at the old pro wrestling. So next up we had 7th match of the card. We had Tanahashi, Jushin Thunder taking on the Chaos dudes of Shinsuke and Yujiro Takahashi. So this was pretty good. I gave this one 3 stars. So it was a match prolonging the Tanahashi Nakamura feud over the IC title. They had a lovely bunch of matches. Really good. I think both of them were at least 4.5 stars. I think according to Meltzer. So that was just a good match. Just prolonged their feud. Yep. Good display. Tanahashi got worked over quite a bit here. He's a bit of a sucker for punishment. A few of these matches where he doesn't need to do much, he does a bit too much, and I'm surprised he keeps his face intact. I think it was a match later in the year. It was the one that Meltzer gave 5 stars, and you just think that he didn't need to take as much punishment to the face as what he does. And he took a bit of punishment to the face in this match, and he just doesn't really need to. And, you can still put on a good match and not have your face stiffed the hell out of. So that was 3 stars. That wasn't too bad. So a couple of good matches in the undercard, a couple of terrible ones. The terrible ones probably bossed the good ones. But that's alright, because now we're on to the business end of the card. The title matches. There were three title matches. I was looking forward to this. The 2 main events were billed as potentially match of the year candidates. So this is pretty exciting. So first up we had DTD guy Kota Ibushi, had the title at the time, the junior title, junior heavyweight title. He was taking on El Desperado, in other words Mikami. That's how I know him as, because when I stopped watching Puroresu was when Mikami had just come in. I think he was being built up as a young lion. He's not now, he's in the juniors. So, yeah, let's go. He was trained by Koji, so he'll be pretty proud. He's starting to push now. I think he's been teamed with Suzuki Gun, so he's at least Jado and Gate are actually doing something with him. Anyway, onto this match. I expected a lot more. Considering how good Ibushi's matches had been, like after this throughout 2004, I was a bit disappointed. I expected more from Mikami as well, because he just come back from CMLL and he had a lot of, he had his chance to really put on a good match, and I think he blew it, to an extent, in my opinion. But saying that, it was still a good match. I still give it 3.5 stars. I just thought it could have been a lot better. So it was still a good match. There were a few. I think it was because the main thing that pissed me off was that there was some really unconvincing pinfalls, attempted pins towards the end of the match. So there we go. So next up, we had great stuff. Tetsuya Naito and Tomohiro Ishii for the Never Openweight title. The Never title's stupid, but Ishii is a machine and puts on great matches. So I think Naito earned his shot after beating Ishii at the New Japan Cup in 2013. I think that's the narrative here, and it makes sense. I like both these guys. Ishii, obviously, he's got a cult thing going on in Japan. I can see why. He's just awesome. He just puts on great matches. Just so stiff. Just awesome. Naito got booed heavily in this match, and because I'm just coming back, I'm not sure why. I read that was because Osaka hates, but then I've also read that the crowd booed him at Karakwan. Karakwan pronounced it as well. So, I heard great things about this match, and I was not disappointed. So, it was good. It was a nice little narrative. Naito seemed to get the upper hand at the start with his brawling, but got beaten soon after. They got beaten down soon after. The narrative seems to get Naito trying to keep up with Ishii's brawling, but Ishii pounding him, and then Naito reverting back to his more athletic moves. Like, there was an extended German suplex with the bridge, which is just incredible. Like, I mean, Ishii is he's not a slight man, so to do a bridge and that whole German suplex thing was just great. The selling was great. It all made sense at this part of the match. Naito looked like he was really going to win, and I mean, that's what makes the match good. Ishii would then hit something like a lariator, and it was just great television. Just before the end, Naito gave Ishii the headbutt from hell, and there was a terrific camera shot, awesome angles, great framing of Naito and the aftermath of the headbutt. He had saliva coming out of his mouth, and it just looked really good. It made the match just awesome. I thought there were a few selling issues towards the end of the match. I thought Ishii could have sold Naito's headbutts a bit more, but he's still Ishii, so it doesn't matter. But I thought if he had sold it a bit more, it would have made it better. Almost a 5-star match. I've given it 4.25 stars, but I'll give it 4.5. Yeah, 4.5's better. So, but utterly brilliant, just awesome. So, onto the main event. I'm not going to say much about this. This is a match of the year candidate. I've given this 4.75 stars, so I agree with Meltzer in this one. Almost 5. Almost 5 stars. So, heavyweight title on the line. Okada versus Goto. I don't mind Goto. He's one of those guys that has potential to rule the universe, but he just doesn't. He just keeps choking and just loses it. Anyway, this match was brilliant. There were so many little subplots in this match. It was terrific psychology. Okada came in with the idea of finishing early, going for the finishes early, and Goto would reverse them, and then he'd attempt to transition into his brawling. And this happened a few times, and it was a nice narrative to go with, and it worked really well. I thought Goto kept bringing the pain through the strikes, and Okada would have his turn at working his athletic moves. It was awesome. So, some of the issues with the transitions, I thought at times Goto, I don't think is very good at transitioning. I think he can time things better, and there's a few parts, about 3/4 in the match end, where he could have timed things better. The best thing about this match was the fact that the finish wasn't over the top. It only took Okada one complete rainmaker to finish, but he attempted it 2 or 3 times, so it was an incredible build-up to the finale. I was very invested in this match, even more so than the sub-main event, and you'll find that there's people out there that actually like the sub-main event better, the Ishii-Naito match, but I liked this one better. I thought it was just awesome, just because of the fact the ending did not seem like it went for an hour. You'll find that they're in their main events and they get to say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and there's another, 10 minutes of just, near fall after near fall after near fall, and by the 6th it's just like, ugh. I watched Go Shiozaki and Joe Doring from All Japan's New Year's War show today as well, and that sort of happened in there. I loved it. I still love that match. I just thought it could have finished about 3 minutes earlier. Long matches aren't necessarily good matches, guys, and that's the, the thing where people get wrong. Alright, so that's that. I mean, I love this show. Really good. That's it. The show overall, I don't know, I'd probably give it an 8. I wouldn't give it a 9 because the card in the middle of the show was really bad. So anyway, I hope you liked it. Sub my channel, for goodness sake.